Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week. Halfway through, we stop for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. We've spun it off. We're at number 81. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday, I put a post out with Zach and I holding coffees. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Now, you might be noticing something different. We're not in our usual studio. We're in our long-term summer loaner.
The Mazda MX-5. So Mazda Canada, they offered us this long-term test drive. We did say in our video we would like one. And they listened.
Let's play a clip of that from our last review of this car.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this car. Mazda, if you need someone to do a long-term test drive, we're in.
Only for the summer. And so they listened and they said, how would you like an MX-5 for the summer?
And we said, yes, please. So we picked it up today from Signature Mazda in Richmond. We spoke with one of the partners, Daryl, great guy. They gave us some Mazda paraphernalia, an umbrella, and some bears, like teddy bears, and then this really great basket that I can use for my groceries throughout the summer.
So the first two questions, coffee, and cars are going to be recorded in this.
Yeah.
Then we'll go back to our regular studio. We are going to do some videos on this car.
We are.
We decided because we're in beautiful British Columbia, we're going to do some road trips. So people from here will recognize where we're going. But if you're not from, if you've never been to Vancouver, we're going to do some road trips, do some ferry rides. We'll show you the scenery. We'll take the Roadster with us. It'll be fun.
It's going to be super fun. And we went with red, because who doesn't want a red MX-5?
Can you see the red? All right,
Fantastic.
Let's get into it. Your questions from Instagram.
Hey guys, I discovered y'all last month and I really love the content you put out. Thank you. I know you can't say too much about the Crown Signia, so hopefully this is something you can comment on. How does the ground clearance feel? I've really started to like the ground clearance of my mom's X5. It feels like a perfect height. I'm coming down from a Tacoma and want something more efficient like a hybrid, but fear that the Crown Signia would be too far of a drop in height.
Okay, just want to know, have the numbers for the clearance been
No.
published yet? Okay.
So we can't say.
Okay, all I can say is it's built on a common platform with Camry.
Yeah.
And the other Crown sedan. So you
Yep.
could look at the Crown sedan's ground clearance
So,
as a hint.
and the X5 has 8.7 inches of ground clearance. That's a lot. Let's just put
Well,
it
just
that way.
eyeballing it, I don't think it's going to be that high, but we can't give you the official
Can't
numbers.
give you the official.
June 6th is when the video drops, but you could look at the Crown sedan as a guideline.
I would say Crown Sedan, yeah. What is the difference, if any, between a moonroof and a sunroof? I see them called both. Just how someone labels it. And yeah, that is how someone labels it. Moonroof, sunroof, same thing. Panoramic sunroof, different story.
Typically, in my opinion, I think a moonroof doesn't open and a sunroof does. But typically, the moonroof is just this part over the driver and passenger, and then there's the pano sunroof. But yeah, it's all interchangeable.
It really
The
is.
question you really want to know is, does it open or not?
But a moonroof does usually open. You know, you pop it up, or it's
Here's the difference,
power
Andrea.
operated. I like a pano roof, but I really like this roof the best.
Yeah, it's a convertible. The other thing is, Andrea, you
Yeah.
just think about what they're saying. One is a moonroof, so you look up at night.
Sure.
And the other is a sunroof, and you look outside during the day. But don't look right at the sun.
No, please don't. That's past the eclipse. I'm wondering what you think of the new Honda EV investment in Ontario. Can I just, before we say one thing about the eclipse, our boys are older, but you know, it's like a total bomb thing. I said to Zach, I'm just going to mention at the dinner table.
Don't
we're gonna
stare at
be
the
out,
sun.
Yeah, we're going to be out of town for the eclipse, and just say, now you guys know you can't stare at the sun, right?
Nicola goes, Mom, we're not idiots.
We're not
Of course
morons.
we know.
I said, good.
Okay,
good.
back to the question.
I'm wondering what you think of the new Honda EV investment in Ontario will have as a whole for our country. I guess it's the future, seeing how much they are willing to pay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you're not aware, Honda, they had the CEO of Honda in Japan come to Ontario
Yeah.
for this big announcement. So a couple of things. The Civic is already made in Alliston, Ontario, and the CRV is made. 2 mainline cars are already built there. They're going to put in the Civic Hybrid into that plant, and they're going to invest a whole lot into EV infrastructure at that assembly plant.
$15 billion worth. So they're going to have a plant to produce batteries and then also an assembly line for electric vehicles. I think it's pretty amazing. You know, someone had reached out to us saying about foreign workers, that they had mentioned that they were going to hire foreign workers, but they said it's just for this startup to build the factory, and they're really going to focus on maximizing Canadian jobs, which I think is really great. And Honda has a real history in Canada.
Oh, I just wanted to jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is all of this happening now? Well, it's because of the Inflation Reduction Act, which is an ironic name because it actually helped boost inflation. But anyway, this is all done with rebates to get onshoring, meaning bringing electrification from places like China to North America. So the Americans implemented this Inflation Reduction Act, and Canada has matched those rebates and sweetened the pot even more. So you could look at it that they're using tax dollars to help seed this fledgling industry.
Sure.
But if you look at the actual numbers of jobs that are going to be added to the production, it's only like 1,000 jobs.
Only 1,000
and
jobs.
it's $15 billion. But that infrastructure you hope will be there for the long run. Because the Alliston's been there for how long?
I don't know exactly
1984.
Yes, 1984 they built the assembly plant, and there was only one other in North America, and that was in Ohio. So it was Ohio and then moved on to Canada. So the first Honda cars came to Canada in 1965, and by the late 1970s, Honda was the best-selling imported car in Canada. How about that?
Changed,
Yeah.
Now it's Toyota.
Now it's Toyota. So I think it's pretty exciting news. I'm glad that they're doing it. I know 1,000 jobs doesn't sound like a lot, but the people who live there and those jobs are there, they're pretty excited about it.
You're paying a lot of tax dollars for those jobs. So the goal is, this is what our federal government has decided to invest in all these EVs. Volkswagen got a sweetheart deal. Stellantis, Nord, I'm trying to remember the name of the company associated with Volvo. They're building a battery. They want to actually make Canada, and it makes sense, to be from beginning to end battery source. Mine the materials, refine the materials, make the batteries, make the electric motors, make the electric cars, and sell them. That's the goal. We'll see if they can do it.
Hello, looking at getting the new 4Runner with the hybrid in it when it releases. Do you think it would be a good idea to test drive a Tacoma with the iForce Max to get an idea how the new 4Runner will drive? Or do you think they will not compare? Looking at getting the off-road package if it's available with the iForce. Thanks for your videos. Yes, I think that is an excellent idea because we drove the Land Cruiser and we drove the Tacoma hybrid. And I really felt like, geez, am I sitting in a Tacoma? You've got the same powertrain. So I think that's a great idea.
So it's a common platform, common architecture for the hybrid system, and even the interior of the 4Runner and the Tacoma even look the same. So yes, it's going to be very similar. Nobody's driven the 4Runner, but it's a pretty good bet it's going to drive with probably a softer suspension, I would suspect. It doesn't need to do all that pickup truck stuff.
Yeah.
Because the car's different with a convertible.
I know.
The car goes by.
So weird.
But there you go. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
You'll get to see how the power delivery is.
I would totally drive it. If you can get your hands on a Tacoma hybrid, that might be challenging at the dealership, but if you can, do it. Thanks for the great content. Wondering if you think the new 4Runner will enjoy the same kind of high resale value the current generation has. Thinking of replacing my 2023 Macan S with one in a couple of years. Boy, that's going to be a big change in the way it drives. Macan S.
Macan S is a special
compared to a 4Runner. I don't know. The V6 in the 4Runner is really the popular choice amongst people. They love it. They're disappointed that it's gone and we're moving to turbo 4s. But I still think that the 4Runner will retain its value. What do you think?
I think that anything that's body on frame, which means it's not it's a separate chassis with the body bolted on top. Historically, whether it's the domestic makers or it's the import brands, have amazing resale value.
Yeah.
People just like body on frame trucks for long-term durability and reliability. So if you're planning on doing this in a couple of years, wouldn't be a bad idea to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah.
I mean, Toyota will, even if there's problems initially, they will figure it out. And in the long run, you're getting way more power, especially with the hybrid.
Yeah.
Way better fuel economy, but you still have a body on frame truck. I would say probably in the long run, it'll hold its value.
I think so too. And like you said, body on frame trucks, I don't know of one that doesn't hold its value. Great segment. I really look forward to this every week. Thank you. Do people ever interrupt your filming while sitting in your car? Now that you're the most popular couple on YouTube, do people recognize you at the grocery store?
Well, people, here's the thing with us shooting is we go to quiet places. Like
Yeah.
we've picked a quiet neighborhood.
No one's really around here.
The houses around here are probably around 15 million to start.
Yeah.
We don't live, by the way, we don't live in this neighborhood.
We don't.
We just come here because it's quiet.
Yeah,
So we
it's
don't
good.
see many people here. But we do notice when we travel that when we're in the airport, when we're on the airplane,
Airplane, for
people
sure.
notice us for sure.
And at the grocery store, I do all of our grocery shopping, and
I'm at home on the sofa.
many times, yes, they come up to me, and it's funny because sometimes I'm rounding a corner and they're coming the other way, and it's so cute. It's just like so startled that, oh my God, I know you. So I think it's great. And I was in the checkout putting my groceries on the conveyor belt, and there was a really nice gentleman with his wife, and he just said nicely, I love your channel, I love what you guys do, thanks so much. And I walked to the bank from our house today, and a guy pulled up in his X5 plug-in hybrid, and he's like, I bought one because of you guys.
I wish we could get a commission on all those. That would be nice.
know.
So it was really cool yesterday. We came back from Montreal and we got off the plane and we came out of the subway, and our car is parked right next to the subway. Yeah. So we're pulling our bags along. This guy gets out of a rental Pacifica and he says, hey, I recognize you guys. He's visiting from San Francisco.
Fran.
So I think probably the last thing he thought when he was coming to Vancouver is I'm going to run into these two schmucks. But he did. So it was really cool. He had his whole family there. It was
We
neat.
did a picture at his family. They took a picture. Anyway, it's great. And everybody is so respectful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very respectful. We have no problems at all. So we're quite happy when people come up and say hi and tell us what they like about the channel. Niro or Sportage hybrid for a daily commuter. Short commute, so miles per gallon is non-factor. Sitting in some traffic, which would be a more enjoyable ride to work?
Oh,
They
yeah.
seem pretty close to each other on the cost side of things.
I would say if you can afford the Sportage or the Sportage, get that. It's got a much more upscale interior. We loved the one with the brick red seats.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the video here. It looked really, really good. So the Niro, if you're all about mileage, that's the winner.
Yeah.
It gets incredible fuel economy, but I would say Sportage.
And the Niro, you'll find like a lack of power. You get into the Sportage, you're going to find that there's a lot more power. It just is quieter. Like it is so quiet, that hybrid. The Niro is not as quiet, not as much insulation. So yeah, if you can make the stretch to the bigger Sportage, I would do it as well. Hi A and Z or Z. Love the car show, and banter reminds us of home. Given the advancements of all things EV, especially battery tech, would you advise on leasing? If so, are we better with dealership or banks for the lease? Well, Zach and I have gone on record saying, yeah, we think leasing is a great idea when you're buying an EV. Then you're not committed to it at the end of the lease. You can either switch out and get another one. It's just a great long-term test drive. And also, if you've got a bigger depreciation factor because it's an electric vehicle, or there's worry about the battery, I think leasing is just a safe bet.
It is a safe bet, and it protects you against accelerated depreciation. And accelerated depreciation goes like this. Elon Musk on his keyboard goes, I'm dropping the prices by 20% overnight. Okay, so one of the downfalls we've had with EV sales lately is because of that move. He dropped the prices by 20% on Tesla vehicles, and then other manufacturers had to drop their prices. Ford had to drop the prices of the Mach-E considerably, but I don't think they realized the unintended consequence is that you're undermining the confidence and resale value of EVs. Yeah. So the resale value of EVs went down because of that keystroke that he did. So you're protected. If you leased, say, a Mach-E, and at the end of the 3-year lease, it was worth X dollars, and then they've all been depreciated overnight because of that, you're protected. You just give the keys back and say, that was a fun experience. Next.
You know, we met a gentleman on the plane. He recognized us, watches our channel, as we said, and he said he has a friend who got a Model 3 for $77,000. Wow. And it's just not worth that today. And he's pissed off. And he also said he knows someone who had the Model Y who spent over $88,000. And now you can get a Model Y for under $64,000 Canadian. So that's a really hard pill to swallow.
Leasing protects you against
that.
It does. Oh, there's somebody wrote on our channel. Now, they said this was their EQS. They got a discount on the EQS because they weren't moving, and he thought that was quite good, from 110 grand to like 97, something like that. Those are rough numbers. But then he said he checked the trade-in value. It was like 45 grand. It's
that is really scary.
1 year old. Wow.
I know, and then the issue with leasing is that you always have a payment. We were just at Signature Mazda, and they were saying like 75% of the vehicles that they sell are leased. I thought that was a pretty high number.
It keeps the prices down. We're living in a cost crunch time right now. Inflation's high, food prices are ridiculous, fuel prices are high. So if someone can go in and get a new car and their payment goes from $600 a month down to $350 because they're leasing it, they just look at the monthly cost and they're like, I'll take that.
And Daryl from Signature Mazda said that the Mazda 3 has really made a comeback. Like, people are coming in looking for it. They don't even have enough stock of it because they can lower that lease payment for them and make it more affordable.
It's just a cheaper car.
Hi, Zach and Andrea. You guys have great chemistry. Thank you. Loved your conversation about EVs in the previous show. What's your thought about the 1.5 liter turbo from Hyundai? I think you mean 1.6 liter, the hybrid, versus the 2.5 liter hybrid from the RAV4. Which one is good for cold winters? I'm in Manitoba.
Okay, so the 1.6 liter is turbocharged, and the Toyota one is naturally aspirated. But that's just part of the story. The real secret sauce with Toyota is they have what's called an ECVT, which is dialing in and out between the engine being on and off way more frequently than you have with the dual clutch version you have in the Hyundai and Kia products. And it just delivers better fuel economy.
Always delivers better fuel economy, and Toyota's been making this hybrid powertrain for a long time. We see Subaru, with their Forester, their new hybrid coming out, they're going to use the hybrid powertrain, and also Mazda with the CX-50 hybrid will have the same. So I have a lot of confidence in that powertrain. Not to say that I don't like the Hyundai and Kia 1.6T. It's very quiet, but you aren't going to deliver that sort of fuel economy that you get from the RAV4 hybrid.
But you've also got more complexity. So you've got a hybrid system, you've got a dual clutch transmission, which the Toyota doesn't have. And then you've got a turbocharger, which is even more complexity. Did I say turbocharger already?
Yeah.
So turbocharger and a regular and a smaller engine. So I don't know. Pick
you
your
have
poison.
to decide for yourself. You will find the Hyundai or Kia hybrids to be a lot quieter than the RAV4, but the RAV4 hybrid is nothing like the RAV4 gas model. It's a lot quieter.
All right, we're all done.
Yeah, we're all done. Thanks for watching. And if you want to get a question in, follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out with Zach and I holding coffees. Once we gather all of our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.